I might need to present to a board of directors about something technological.
So good evening, good evening, good evening. Today we have someone very special. We interviewed someone very special all the way from the States. Thank you for accepting to be a part of this and to contribute, to kind of shed light on the things that you do, what you're involved in, and giving that guidance and motivation to other young people as well. Please, Mr. Renee, if you'd like to introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Renee Smith. I am located in the US. I am a Chief Technology Officer part of the time, and I also do a lot of volunteering with causes that I like, community organizations specifically, and most things have a little bit to do with technology.
What inspired you to do this, to get involved?
Well, when I was young, I was not really drawn to a particular industry or profession. I had to work starting at least 10 years old. My family did not have many means, and I was the oldest of four, being raised by a single mom. So, we worked, I babysat, I delivered papers, I picked blueberries, I swept parking lots. I've been working since I can remember.
Wow.
But, when people talked about, what do you want to be? I really wasn't drawn to anything in particular. I wasn't particularly good at any of the subjects in school. I wasn't bad either, but if you figure I was working whenever I wasn't in school, did a little bit of sports, it wasn't as if I said, oh, that kid's good in math, or oh, she's a great writer. That wasn't me. I was more general. I did know that if I put an effort into something, one of the subjects at school, I could do pretty well. I wouldn't say, super great. So it wasn't as if school led me to, a direction in particular. There was something I did know, is that I did not like doing the same thing over and over again. I knew I wanted to go the college route, but not much more than that. I had a high school guidance counselor.
Oh, cool.
Her name was Mrs. Brown. She was nearing retirement, let's just say, so kind of on the older side. And she would steer all of the girls to home economics classes.
Home economics is a school subject, dealing with how to run a house well and efficiently.
Or if they resisted that, which I did, to keyboarding. That's what they called the subject that was about typing. Type without looking at the keyboard was called keyboard. And she would advise girls to do home ec or that. That didn't turn out to be a very bad thing, as it were. So I did take keyboarding, but I knew I wanted to leave and go to university. And from my high school, not many students did that, and very few, like low single digits, went to a really good school. But I knew I wanted that.
Yeah. So then when you kind of decided to go to college, what was it that made you think, oh, tech is pretty cool, I want to do that?
Well, I had to pay for school, so there was no means. So I knew that I would have to work and go to school, if that was even going to be possible. And for every month I was at university, I didn't know if I'd be able to return the following semester. So it was always a question of finances.
If you feel like finance is something that gets in the way of your professional growth or your career, drop us a little DM. We're here to help you. You know how it is. Okay, bye.
And I also had to send money home, to help the family. But for me, knowing that I was paying my own way, and that if I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do, business was a good place to look. Now, business is kind of blah, nondescript. Technology for me was a way to distinguish myself, and it seemed pretty forward, and it seemed where things were going. Also the university that I went to was more technology and engineering leaning, and it had very early on what they called a co-op program with internships. It was one of the first in the US to do that as part of the curriculum, and the schools leaning towards technology also made options available that were technology oriented, so that helped a lot.
Nice, cool. It's true. The next question would be, what are the positives of what you do?
Well, for the person who can't decide, or the very curious, working with technology in business means that I don't have to select an industry. So I can work with many industries. I can work in many countries, which I do, and I can work with very large companies or very small companies. So that's probably the biggest positives with working in business and technology.
It's very true. So it's a skill that's kind of necessary across all different sectors, isn't it? So finance, startups, tech startups, all different companies, all different sectors are looking for people who are very tech savvy and know how to manage business really. So yeah, no, definitely very, very true.
I didn't have to pick, and I didn't have to do the same thing twice.
Yeah, exactly. You can literally choose where you want to be. So that's convenient, a big convenience for you. What's your day-to-day like?
I have to keep up on things that are happening. So for instance,
right.
Big news around the world, depending on where my clients are or my projects are. I have to kind of keep an eye on things. There might be, so for instance, there might be a cybersecurity breach. I'd have to know a little bit more about that, or I'd need to know, keeping up on things. Other than that, I am working with clients day to day on different efforts. Depending on where a project is, I might have to jump in and review some presentations and go over some code. I might need to interview someone like you're doing with me for planning for their budget. I might need to present to a board of directors about something technological. So for the first 3 months of this year, twice a day, I was giving a briefing on what is generative AI and why does it matter to the company. So for my day-to-day, it can be very varied, and I like that because then I get to, sometimes I'm working with people, sometimes I'm doing some research and preparing a presentation. So my day-to-days are pretty varied.
Perfect. So would you say, for someone who doesn't like doing the same thing over and over again, would you say tech is a good place to kind of check out?
It can be. Technology in general, you could go broad or you could go deep. You could really be very, very deep into a technology and be a programmer. You could be testing, doing quality assurance. You could be trying to define what the technology should do. So, technology wise, you could be towards the front, what users see and do, or in the back, working with data and security. There are so many facets of technology. And right now, all companies, all organizations, or most, are in the technology business a little, even
exactly.
for marketing or just for communicating with their constituencies or customers, or just for keeping track of their data or using their email, or Zoom.
The last thing, just to wrap everything up, is what's your tip?
Ooh, tips. Stick with your values.
Right.
Never compromise on integrity. If you're really sure you're right, take a look around and listen to others. Don't give up. Don't, if you see a limit, look again. There are very few limits in reality. And to try things. If you don't like something, then try something else.
Exactly, yes. Perfect. Thank you so much, Miss Renee. Thank you so much for handing us these masses of knowledge and wealth and wisdom and all of this good stuff that's going to help a lot of people to kind of put things into perspective, see if tech is really for them, what type of skills that we need to develop, things like that, and especially the last tips that you gave, which were mega helpful. So thank you so much, Miss Renee, for everything.
My pleasure. See you later.
Bye. See you.